Good evening to Basement Quality Banter episode 39. Coming to you this evening. Angus, where are you this evening?
Down the Gold Coast actually, with some little family holiday at Turtle Beach Resort.
Oh, sounds lovely. And do you have a beverage?
I do have a beverage, a little bit of a special one. Last year I went up to a rugby tournament in the Noosa Hinterlands, and basically across the road is Noosa Hinterland Brewing, and they did a bunch of um, wild beer and barrel projects. So this um, was it a champagne pilsner that I picked up last year?
Oh,
Uh,
sounds
and
lovely.
really nice beer. Really nice beer. I'm just going to change internet connections. I've already getting some glitches.
Well, that's what you get with Basement Quality. Um, I'm drinking, while Angus fixed that up, um, Black Hops Neverland, something that I haven't had for a few years. And if you've seen my Instagram post, I actually went down to Black Ops 2 for the first time in 4 years or so. Yeah, it's really nice. It's got that grapefruit hop extract in it now. Um, yeah, 8.2% double IPA hazy. A little bit of grapefruit bitterness. It's really nice. Um, Maybe worth a second chance. But yeah, look, it's a really nice drop. So um, yeah, can't fault the beer at all. Um,
Sorry, I just swapped over internet connections. My
yep,
phone was proving to be glitchy.
yeah, you're right.
Um, yeah, this beer is really nice. It's kind of entry level beer. It's really strong sherbet on the nose, and I think they must use Brett C because there's a fair bit of slight kind of dank fruit to it, and similar into the flavors as well. That kind of Brett C, like not rotten fruit, but it's slightly aged fruit in the bottom of your fridge crisper that's a bit soft.
Yep,
Nice beer.
in a wine glass too. Lovely.
Well, I'm playing away from home, so that's basically it was that and like 20 little water glasses.
No, lovely.
Annoyingly, I've got a beer glass and a Belgian beer glass I was going to bring down, sitting on my sink at home, washed up, ready to go, and I forgot them.
Yep. Well, that's what happens when you've got to
Classic.
pile the kids into a car and organise everyone. So I just wanted to welcome all of the new listeners
Yep.
and followers of the Basement Quality Banter Facebook page. This week we saw an extra 50 people jump on. So I hope everyone that we're living up to your low expectations. Um, Thank you for joining us. Feel free to jump on, add any content, discuss anything that you want us to discuss or yourself, or yeah, we're happy to shout out. And if you want us to feature a product or an event, let us know. Um, I'm going on to our first point here with February soon approaching next week. Expect to see a lot of muckraking on the commercial avenues regarding beer price increases. Every 6 months we go through, and every 6 months go through this, and every 6 months people are shocked. The beer excise on packaged beer will get increased depending on the consumer price index. Will this one be absorbed? Don't know. Guess we'll see soon. Depends on inflation and everything. Major liquor tax reform is still required. I guess most people who work in retail and bars hear this every 6 months. So feel your pain. Just know that um, there's nothing you can do about it, and if they've got a problem with it, just tell them to talk to their local politician to get this tax reform through.
Yeah, I suppose yeah, the annual increase sucks. And But I guess on one hand, it's also nice you know it's coming, so you factor it into your budgets for the year, and you're kind of setting your prices at the start of the financial year, and you know it's coming, so you can kind of factor in as opposed to being lobbed with an increase at some random point in time during the year.
Yeah, and a
If
lot of the
you
breweries, the
want
small
to try
breweries,
and find a silver lining.
yeah, a lot of the small breweries we follow. aren't even paying excise yet. So it really shouldn't affect them. They should be able to stay competitive. And yeah, I got sent an email from Daniel Ridd, and he's got this fantastic website called Beer Reflections, and basically, you've probably heard us talk about him before. He gets into all the statistics and numbers of a lot of beer competitions. He gets into Gabs especially, and he released some really cool information about the Gabs that's happening, Hottest 100 that's happening this Saturday. And I strongly suggest you jump onto beerreflections.com.au and have a look at them all. Um, I've got permission just to mention a few of them, the things that I've grabbed, which is pretty concerning to be honest. So the beers that are available to be voted on 776 this year. Last year was 1,258. The year before was 1,862, and the year before that was 2,117 beers. So it has really,
Man,
really dropped. Um, Apparently, the New
yeah.
Zealand version, only 30 breweries have entered. In saying that,
Jeez.
yeah, the top 30 is stable. So all of the top 30 beers that were from last year are all in it again this year. So you're not probably not going to see too much change in the top 30. Just the same beers, just probably moved around a little bit depending on how strong their support has been or their marketing has been for it. But the next thing I've pulled out was 12 breweries that were in the top 100 last year that don't have any beers this year. So Better Beer, Fox Friday, that makes sense. Little Bang Brewery, James Squire, the malt shovel Kieran owned product, Heads of Noosa Brewing, which is one that I voted for. The Japanese black and Japanese lager is beautiful. Hawks Brewing, Sunday Road Brewing, Byron Bay Brewing, Curly Lewis Brewing, White Rabbit Brewing, Jetty Road, and Dayton, of course. So 12 breweries that were in the top 100 last year who don't have any beers in this year. So they're sort of my 3 points. Should be really interesting. There's some EB by Hiker are having a countdown. Black Ops 2 are having a countdown. Tipless Tapper having a countdown. But with only 700 beers, I would say a really reduced amount of people voted and engaged. Yeah, I don't know. It might be the last one.
Yeah, heads of Noosa is a surprise. Like their beers are excellent, very very high standard, and they you you'll see them generally gold medaling at the Queensland Beer Awards and various beer awards, and they've done pretty well at Gab. So it's surprising that they've opted not to enter. Yeah.
Yeah,
I, I think it's the year of the Japanese lager, so I'm surprised that they've pulled out.
yeah, cool. So I thought we'd have a
Interesting.
prediction show to show how bad we are and everyone to laugh at us to see how wrong we get it. As the results land, we'll share them if our tails aren't between our legs too badly. So my Gab's hottest 100 top three for Saturday. I think status quo will get up. I think Cooper's Pale Ale will still remain in second place, mainly because they actually put a few Cooper's beers in, and it might have actually split that vote a bit. People who support Cooper's, they could vote the dark and the stout and the sparkling. I reckon if they'd kept it as pale, they might have been stronger. And Crankshaft, which is still probably one of the best IPAs, go-to IPAs in Australia from Bent's Boat. And your top three?
Yeah, I've got Bolter Brewing XPA,
Yep.
and just to break the status quo, I've got status quo at number two. I think they've won the last 3 years, I think. So I
Mm.
think it's time for someone else. And I just get a feeling that Bolter have started ramping up their marketing again. So I think they might get a shoe in. And I'm picking Four Pines Japanese Lager as my roughie.
Yeah, nice.
I think they're somewhere in the 30s or maybe high 20s last year, and they jumped 25 places. That's my roughie.
Yeah, and it makes sense too. Like you said, everyone's got a ginger beer and a Japanese lager in their core range now. Um, and we only mentioned last week that we hadn't heard much from Bolter, but they really punched out in that last week of voting. The the marketing campaign. So yeah, it should be really interesting. I put my Triple J Hottest 100 as well, as it's played usually while that's running. Um, it is a young person's game, Triple J Hottest 100, and I am not young, but I did place my votes. And in terms of songs, I didn't pick to tracks. I went with artists for this prediction. I'd love to see Baker Boy get up. He's got a couple of really good tracks. Biggest Mob, especially. Hilltop Hoods had a great album again, and I think Ray's been really popular for an international artist. Um, you have No Music Has Advanced since 1998. You reckon? Oh, he might have frozen. Um, well, I'll put my three votes in for Angus, and he voted ACDC, Cold Chisel, The Angels, or Nick Cave. So his his taste in music hasn't progressed since 1998. Moving on, F1 champion for the year. I'd still like to see Oscar Piastri get up. And Angus is firm on Max. And in seeing all the promotional stuff from Max with the new Ford engines and everything, he looks relaxed. And I think him looking relaxed and happy is probably dangerous for the rest of the field. So Angus picking Max for the champ this year is not too far fetched. I don't think. I think he's got the skill, and if he's relaxed and happy, I think everyone else should watch out.
Plus, it's probably going to irritate a few people, so
Why not? Why
I don't mind that.
not? NRL premiers. Oh, I think the Broncos are still pretty
Well,
strong.
before you shift on,
Yeah.
before you move on, I've got my F1 champion Crappers qualifier.
Oh,
Didn't quite get the trophy this year, but my pick for Crappers qualifier is Lance Stroll,
yeah. I don't think there's going to
and
be much.
he just got done by I think it was like a point four of an average, and I can't remember the guy's name, but he sounded like Italian or Spanish. But that's
Bortoleto.
my pick is for Lance Stroll to take out Crappist. Franco, someone or other.
Yeah, yeah. Bortoleto. Was it Gabriel Bortoleto?
Yeah, it might have been. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, he's in the Audi, so should be interesting. Yeah, sorry, NRL premiers. Yeah, I'm not a particular fan of the Broncos. My Tigers, I don't think will ever get back up into the eight this year, but I think they're too strong. And you've chosen the Rabbitohs.
I got the Rabbitohs because again, like Max, it seems to irritate a few people, so I'm picking them to win.
They've got they've got a really good. They've got a strong team on paper this year. So if anyone can do it, it's the Super Coach Wayne Bennett. Um, I had Super Rugby. I had the Chiefs because someone had to beat the Crusaders. You've gone.
I've got the Crusaders. Geez, that team roster of theirs, like, it's just that's crazy stuff. That being said, and I hate saying this, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Tars run very deep into the finals. Um, they just can't keep being shit with the roster they've got, especially the few of the guys I got this year as well. They've got a really strong roster, and they just can't keep being crap. So I wouldn't be surprised if they run deep into the finals. I
Yeah,
hope they lose, but they might run deep.
and you've got a long range
And
prediction.
my long
Yeah,
range prediction to do with rugby. So Angus Crichton um, went public with the news that he's signing over to rugby in 2027 to make the World Cup. It's a bit of a stretch to come into rugby in the year of the World Cup and have 6 or 7 months to prove why you're better than all the rest of the guys that have been there already. Um, we've got a wealth of riches in the centres, which makes his job a lot harder. Um, I can see a gap being there if Suoli'i shifts to fullback or wing. I'd love to see him play wing actually. Suoli'i loves a bit of space, and I think the defensive patterns of the centres are still a bit of a challenge for him. So on the wing, you kind of a little bit more one-on-one, field kicks, that sort of thing. So I'd yeah, I'd love to see him on the wing. So that may give a little bit of space for Angus to get in, but I don't know. It's a big ask unless he changes the fly half, where we've got no one stood up and really grabbed that jersey with two hands and said it's mine, and then they're a straight selection. So if he can switch to 5'8", he's got a bit of a shot.
yeah, I don't know if he's got those skills. But yeah, very different game, very different skills. Good luck to him. Yeah. And was there anything else we wanted to poorly predict for our listeners this evening?
Yeah, I've got a bunch of very average predictions. So I predict only 15 guests for our show this year, as our shithouse marketing and cross promotion efforts continue to yield the results we deserve. Another prediction: Luke and I managed only 5 rides this year. Uh, I think we did one last year. Didn't do the ride over Christmas to Padre. Uh,
That we've
so
still got to do that.
again,
We've still got to
the,
do that. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I've actually dropped into Maddock on the way down. We went to Surfers Paradise because our place wasn't ready for check-in, so I put in Surfers Paradise, and my GPS told me to go through Ashmore. I'm like, if I'm
No.
going through Ashmore, I got to drop into Maddock. Like,
Yeah.
so I dropped into Maddock and grabbed some beers off them, and because I was going to get to the place and then go to Padre, but I'm like, went to Maddock. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to go to Padre, and Luke and I can go to Padre at some point. Both brand new. Neither of us have been there or had the beers or anything. So I'm trying not to go to Padre, even though it's only 8 minutes drive away.
Yeah. Yeah. We definitely got to do it.
And my last prediction is that there's a chance of me getting to brew my new beer system in February, maybe. Still struggling with temperature control and mash. I've been talking to the guy that designed the controller, and we're uh, what do I say, working out how we can get the system to work. But I might get a batch in February, maybe.
Very nice.
And that's the last of my predictions.
15 guests is a big ask, and getting our bums to do 5 rides, you're setting the bar pretty high. But if you want to be one of those 15
It
guests or
is
come
pretty
for a
high.
bike ride, let us know. So I guess there's only one real sort of beer news story we've got for
I
this
think,
this episode. Yeah,
um, yeah, I was going to say, I think we'll probably knock a few guests out at the beer awards over beery chats, and we just need to get it in writing that they want to do it, not just a beery chat at Felons or wherever we're at. So
yeah,
get it in writing if you talk to someone and they say yes.
yeah.
So about the only thing I had was Nort, which was a separate non-alcohol brand started by modus operandi co-owners Grant and Jazz Weirin, which opened in 2020, but they've just turned on their own $10 million liter brewery to keep pace with demand. So that's a lot of non-alc beer.
Mm,
Um, and there was a stat in the article I read saying that apparently non-alc is now making up 10% of total beers market in Australia as of
yeah,
last year.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
that's a significant percentage, 10%.
Yeah.
And what the also Jazz was saying in the article that obviously see a large swing in January due to New Year's resolutions and people wanting to start the year healthy and
Dry
trying
July.
to, I guess, try and balance the scales against their Christmas and holiday consumptions.
Yeah.
They're seeing a lot higher consumption during the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be that'll be interesting. That'll be a brand to watch, I think.
Yeah. Well, I actually saw a story today about Heaps Normal finally putting beer on tap, which is um, it's fraught with danger, and one of the reasons why you don't see non-out beers on tap, and a lot of research and money has gone into it over the years. I know when I was in the UK, must have been 4 or 5 years ago. There was one brand that was doing non-alc on tap, but they would do ATP testing every day on the line. It'd have a separate tap, so can't be hooked up to glycol because it would freeze. They would pay for the lines to be chemically cleaned every week and things like that. So they've found a novel protein that they can put in the Heaps Normal to warden off things. So you may see some on-outs on tap soon. So something that has always sort of stopped it because you can't pasteurize a keg, and once you remove the alcohol, you're removing some of the preservatives. So the fact that they've sort of cracked that, I'm skeptical. I'm scared, but I'm sure they've put all the checks and balances in to make sure it's safe. So good on them if they've managed to tick that off the non-out box.
So my internet's real patchy.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have anything else, so I
Cut
will.
out for a bit there.
Yeah. No, you're right.
That's all.
I will let you get back to
That's all
your.
I had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll let you get back to your holiday. Thanks for dialing in. Thanks to all of our new listeners, and look at that beautiful wild beer that he's drinking. We will catch up with you next week, and keep the basement quality banter coming. Cheers.
Hmm. All right. Thanks, everyone. See ya.
Bye. Bye.